Hello, hockey fans. Welcome to Bowser Sports, and today we're going to talk about the trade deadline, the deals that happened before deadline day. As you see, the Penguins have traded Michael Bunting to the Nashville Predators and Vinny Desharnais to the San Jose Sharks. The Pens acquired a 2028 fifth-round pick from San Jose, and they got center Tommy Novak and right defenseman Luke Schenn in the deal. And so we are first going to hit on some deals that occurred prior to the Penguins trades. Wednesday evening, first was the Seattle Kraken moving Yanni Gourde, Bjorkstrand, and a 2026 fifth round pick that went to Tampa Bay, Michael Eyssimont, a second and 25, a first and 26, and a first and 27 to the Kraken. And to help from a salary cap retention perspective with Gordy, the Tampa Bay sent a 25 fourth, the conditional pick to the Red Wings. Interestingly enough, for those trades today, GM Brisebois in Tampa was asked about moving, all these picks, and he had commented that, basically I'm paraphrasing this quote, but basically he was saying, I'm looking to win this season and next season and the season after that, and those draft picks don't help me, right? So he has a very interesting philosophy about building his team, which is a little bit different from what we're seeing the Penguins do with, trying to acquire draft picks. Now today, as we saw, the Pens, did get a draft pick, but they also gave up a fourth round pick in 26 to Nashville as part of that Schenn and Novak deal. And so, with as of right now, Wednesday evening, and we're around 10 o'clock p.m., the Pens' current cap deadline space is $10.5 million. And into next season now, their cap is 24.4 from a cap space perspective. And just as a side note, kind of a sort of a important deal related to the Penguins, but they weren't involved in this deal. So the Sharks ended up trading Vitek Vinacek to the Florida Panthers for a winger for to pick up here. So really not too much of a big trade in general, but from the Penguins' perspective, this was one of the teams that may have potentially had interest in Ned as a backup goalie as a result of the Spencer Knight trade, really a Seth Jones trade, right? But Spencer Knight going to Chicago, and so they had a need for a backup goalie. Florida quickly addressed that. Billy Zito is an outstanding GM, so he was playing chess there, getting his guy in Vanacek as the backup. So really interesting kind of note that was sent out on Twitter just a little bit ago, which was some of these analytics from Jay Fresh Hockey. So if you don't go to his website or not aware, really awesome website from an analytical perspective, and really focus on here with his numbers, his metrics, his skills. He could play in a top six in this team. He's gonna have to be a left winger, right? But I do see with his ability that likely he could be looking at a third line center role. The Pens desperately need someone with some size. Novak's about 6'2", 200 pounds, I believe. So he's like ideal for where the Pens are needing. So I think Novak long term is probably more of your third line center, and the Pens may play around right now because they've got Kevin Hayes as a 3C potentially, right, and they've got Achari and Glass down on the fourth line. And moving Bunting out, maybe they look at Novak there. They do have Heinen who can play that kind of role in the second, third line role there. So Heinen, so we'll see what happens. The Pens actually have some interesting ways right now, I think, to build out their roster here. As you see, their 23-man roster. They've got Raquel Crosby and Russ. Again, as of this recording, that is the top line. Then you've got Malkin in between Heinen and Beauvillier. I'm projecting for the moment that Novak will play left wing with Hayes and Tomasino, and then you've got Lizotte, Glass, and Achari. I would expect before Friday's game, the Pens, and before the by after the deadline, I would think probably Achari goes, maybe even Heinen now to free up space, because I think long term, again, if the Pens keep Raquel, that left wing side gets really competitive with McGorty, Tristan Braz, and they got Volley Koivunen. So all three of those guys, I think, are skilled left wing guys for a top six role. I do actually think all three guys have got that capability to play a third line role. So one of those guys could become a really good candidate to skate on a line with the newly acquired Novak and Tomasino. And those guys, along with Glass, were all teammates. Now on defense, I'm not really sure where this would go. I would not be shocked to see Luke Schenn flipped. Schenn's a veteran guy, chasing a Stanley Cup, and so we could see a move there to recoup back that fourth they gave up. So, but there is also value with knowing that you've got Pickering coming up next year, probably in a more full-time role. Grzelcyk's probably going out. Ryan Shea's not your long-term first left defense. You got Graves and Joseph. Pio Joe sounds to be like he is on his way out already after a short period of time coming back to the Pens. And so we'll have to see, kind of how that plays out. I thought Kolyachonok played really well in his first game, so hopefully the Pens look at him as their, a skilled third defense pairing. And so maybe they decide to keep Schenn as that veteran guy. He doesn't cost a lot of money. Maybe they keep him and he keeps the seat warm by mid-season next year with Harrison Brunick. So that is something to kind of keep an eye on. There may be a need to just retain Schenn for that purpose. Have that veteran experience, get him onto the penalty kill, get Carlson out of the penalty kill. So there you've got your two right defense, in there. As long as one of the other top guys, doesn't go out on a penalty, then Carlson might skate in. It also allows you that in the event that Carlson, thankfully, can be traded, Schenn may play a different type of role and still be a defensive right defenseman on your second pair, and Brunicky starts on the third, and time evolves. He moves. They kind of split. Flip spots here. So we'll see. I think there's a lot of shakeup still to have happen here on the left defense, and then in goal, I will again reiterating the last couple episodes. I think Jari is probably unmovable at this point. Ned was most likely a potential trade candidate. Again, we'll see if there's any other team who needs a backup goalie after Florida got Vanacek. And then we'll see, kind of what happens with the young players and how they move some guys around. There's not a lot of space at this point on this roster to really move anyone into the lineup, and maybe that is strategic. Maybe the Pens decide that there's more value having those younger players for the stretch run and into the playoffs for Wilkes-Barre and get them to, learn to play together and that type of thing. So that is all I have for now. Just a kind of a quick, couple minute episode here. As a recap, the Pens acquire Luke Schenn and Tommy Novak from the Nashville Predators from Michael Bunting. And the Pens probably are not done, though I don't expect any huge trades unless Raquel, somehow the Pens are extremely, happy with the type of deal they can get for Raquel. So if that happens over the next couple of days, whenever that occurs, if it does, we'll post a video here and have a quick recap on what occurs and between now and the deadline. And hope you guys enjoy this episode. Leave a like if you do. Please give us a subscription. It's free to do. Drop us a comment. And until next time, keep your head up and the stick on the ice.